extra one. So this video is about the tiny child rig and the chicken rig. I'll show you how to hook up both of those. So the tiny child rig we're going to start with first. You're going to need a NED Rig type worm. We're going to go ahead and go with something like the hula stick. That's what the Z-Man hula stick. It's a little bigger than the normal tiny child rig. Tiny child rig usually uses the typical TRD, but we're going to use this for both of them. So the tiny child rig is going to be rigged this way. So you're going to actually need a finesse hook. Something like a Neko style hook, or your typical worm catching finesse hook. We're going to go ahead, whoops, wrong side. So you rig it backwards. We're going to go ahead and go through the back. Go through the back, we're going to come back out, slide it down, get that worm catcher in there. Oh, God, there we go. Alright, then we're going to go back through the plastic and hook it up weedless. Now you want it as straight as possible, so arrange it a little bit there. This worm is a little distorted because it's been sitting in my backpack free. So there's the hookup. You can see hook just barely sticks out. They bite in. That hook will come right through and hook them. And then you're hooked up kind of weedless. Oh, there's one other thing that you need on this, and that is a weedless, or weedless. You need a weighted pin, or you could also use nail weights. Get here, fly. You're going to take that and go through the center of the other end, all the way down. There we go. And you squish it in basically until that or that catches in, or with the nail you would push it all the way in. So the difference between this style head and a nail is this head will actually make a little bit more of a clicking noise when it hits the bottom. Bounce, 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 and click, click, click every time it hits a rock. If you got sand, it won't do it either way, but this is what that tiny child rig looks like. This is a great punching rig. But as far as swimming goes, I wasn't too thrilled with the action of this. So one of the advantages of a NED rig is that the rig looks like a fish feeding off the bottom. So you're just tapping it along and it looks like a fish feeding off the bottom. Well, when you're working this guy, you're pulling it backwards. So it's constantly working in the reverse direction. It looks kind of like a confused fish feeding off the bottom. And I didn't get as many bites. Now when I was fishing real heavy cover and I was just dropping it down, that seems to be where I would get more of the bites, especially if I had like stumps or something where I was just kind of literally lifting this up and down, where it was, line was on a stump or a branch, and it was just lifting it up and down. That was a good method for the tiny child rig. Now let's go to the chicken rig. Alright, for the chicken rig, again, you're going to need another finesse style hook that you can hook a worm on. And this is very similar to the Neko rig. Let's see. So we want this facing down. So what we're going to do is, with this facing down, we're going to come in kind of around this middle section and go through. We're going to go through one side, come up. See? Come up. Got just a little bit hanging on there. We're going to pull that bait catcher in there. I probably could have gone up just a little bit more, but we're going to push that on through. You want this to be straight. Straight's always better. But it rigs it up like that. Get that to where you can see it. And again, we're going to need that nail weight or these specialty weights. I go through the tip again, work that in there real nice. Now one thing you can do is you can actually super glue this in there. I would suggest doing something like that. I've also seen where you can tie line around there and make a knot to kind of hold that in there. That will keep that weight in there a little better. These weights that I've made, they seem to stay in there pretty good as long as it's in the Z-Man plastics. That Z-Man plastics, for some reason, the little barbs on them really keep the weights and hooks in there. So, but if it's a regular plastic, you may want to consider super gluing it or doing something special to keep that weight in there. But this is basically the chicken rig. So we're hooking it about midsection. Now this looks a lot like the Neko rig. It basically is the Neko rig. It's just a weedless version of the Neko rig. Fishing the tiny child rig. I just lost my swim bait. Focus bite. Just be a little dink. Come on. Well, hopefully I catch more than that today. Let's fix this thing. Alright. So this is what it looks like. I got a weight at the end, kind of like a Neko rig. There we go. I've got a pseudo Neko hook. Ones I make myself. I'm just burying that in there so it's weedless. That's the whole point of this setup. If you got a big enough worm, you can use a worm hook. But this is a tiny worm. They don't make worm hooks that small. There's a bite. Got one! Little guy. Is that another rock bass? Jeez, he choked it. Another rock bass. Don't fin me, buddy. Don't fin me. Oh, you're finning me. There we go. Thank you, buddy. Ooh, just right. Ooh. That one. And it is rock bass. Thank you, buddy. Little rock bass. All right. There we go. Nothing. Nothing. Got one. Oh yeah, I got one. No, it came off. Oh my gosh. That's where they're at. It. No, not where I wanted it. Get over this log real quick. Now we can fish it. Going. Finally. Oh, I got one chasing it. This confidence bait. Yeah, he choked it down too. Come on. What you getting? There we go. Thank you, buddy. Oh, holy moly. He's ready to go. Okay, one more cast down this tree. Got one. Finally. Oh, he came off. Got one. I don't know what it is. Little bass. Here's a little small one. I'll watch Micah while you're doing that. That's a nice one.
Oh wow, he's the biggest so far.
He's a nice one. For here. I can't believe 3 in one stop. Yep.
Very cool. Yeah. I'm filming this whole thing.